Hello everyone, it's Jordan Power here, and in this video, I will be talking about what does it mean to be stewards. So to be stewards means to take care of God's creation. That is one of them. Let's go see 1 Corinthians 4, 1 through 2. That a man so account us, or of us, as of the ministers of Christ, and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. We should take care of God's creation. And this also means that we should not litter. So when we are done with something, like a candy wrapper, or something that came in packaging, then we should throw that either in the trash or the recycling. So if it is recyclable, then we should recycle it. And then if it cannot be recycled, then it should be thrown in the trash. And recycling used materials that are recyclable is very good stewardship of God's creation, especially since that is taking care of the planet. Since when such materials are recycled, those things are processed and converted into something else as it gets reused. And being good stewards also means caring for God's creatures, which are the animals. In Genesis 1:28, we read, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." When we approach animals, we should respect them and also care for them if need be. And this also means that if we have house pets, or if we own horses or cattle on a ranch, then we should properly care for those animals. Since God has entrusted us with those animals. And these true facts also means that animal abuse is a horrific sin, as that sin falls under the category of poor stewardship. Bear in mind that slaughtering animals for food is not animal abuse. I am pointing this out because the militant vegans will try to tell you that, and that is certainly not true. since the scripture condones the consumption of meat. So slaughtering animals for food is perfectly okay. While on the other hand, abusing animals, as in kicking them or beating them up, that is not okay. Being stewards does not just mean taking care of God's creation, it also means taking care of things that aren't yours or that you are entrusted with. For example, we should have good stewardship of our money. In Proverbs 16:11, we read, "A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work." In 1 Timothy 6:10, we read, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." This means that we should be responsible with our money. And this means that we should budget everything properly. And then whenever we want to buy the things that are wants, like electronic gadgets, or things that support your favorite hobby, then we should see if we can afford it after covering the needs first. And if we can, then we can by all means do so, as long as we have the right motives. But then should not do it if we cannot afford to do so. And all of this also proves how gambling is a sin. But scripture clearly condemns gambling, and because it's a poor stewardship of money, and it is also highly addictive, as it gives a superficial dopamine release. And to add insult to injury, gambling has also badly harmed families, as there are so many families and relationships that were destroyed because of gambling. When another person entrusts us to look after something that belongs to them, we should properly care for it. In Luke 19:16 through 19, we read, "Then came first saying, Lord, £5 hath gained £10. And he said unto him, O well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, hast thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, £5 hath gained £5. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. So when we look after something that isn't ours, we should keep it in the place where the person has instructed us to place it, and deliver proper care when needed. And when it's time, hand it back to that person. So this is giving instructions on how we should properly borrow something when we ask to borrow, and then give it back at the end. And for doing this will have a good outcome. And now a poor stewardship of borrowing something has serious consequences. Now let's see verses 22 through 23 of the same chapter. And he saith unto him, Out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knowest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then givest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have you heard my own with usury? So in this parable, the servant who had just the £1 was 608. And then he was rebuked for poor stewardship of that £1. And he was punished for this. So this proves that poor stewardship has serious consequences. So what it means to be stewards, or to be good stewards, it means to care for God's creation, including the animals. It means to have a good stewardship of our money. And then when we borrow things, we should take good care of what we are borrowing. Now that is it for this video. Have a nice day, and goodbye.